Hi everyone, this video demonstration is going to show how to complete the College of Education Makalei application for applying to our PhD in education with the Exceptionalities track. So I am using a test version as the application is not currently open but will be open on November 1st. And so there's going to be a couple differences, but overall this should be the what you will expect to see when you're completing the application. So when you log on to the makalei.coe.hawaii.edu website, this is what you're going to see. If you're already in the UH system currently as a student, then you can go ahead and just click on UH username and password. However, if this is going to be where you're applying to UH at the same time, then you need to actually come in through a personal email and password. And actually, even more tricky, you need to come down here and create the account first. So let's say you're using a Gmail account or some kind of other account. You need to click on this right here. Fill it out. What it'll do is it'll email you a link that'll bring you back to the site, and then you will use the personal email and password in order to log in. And that's what you'll do. Let's say you start the application and you don't have time to finish it and you want to come back. Then anytime you come back to this site, you can just use the personal email and password. But the first time you do it, make sure you create the account first. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. You are not going to see all of these applications. I do a lot of demos, so either it'll go straight into the application if you have not yet done one before. Otherwise, if you have, you just go ahead and click Start a New Journey. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is make sure that you're applying for a doctoral degree. And down here, we have a lot of doctoral options, so you're going to want to go almost to the very bottom and choose PhD Education Exceptionalities and say Start Your Journey. Okay, so next we're going to make sure that we choose our options. So we are currently enrolling for fall 2020, so that's already listed. Our specialization is Exceptionalities, and this program is face-to-face on the Manoa campus. Push Continue, and here is the application checklist. This is the meat of the application. This is where everything is going to be that you're going to need to submit in terms of your supplemental documents. And so basically the objective is every single one of these items has to be checked off in order to actually move forward. So for example, you do need to submit your UH graduate division application, which is the UH system application. So what you would do is you just choose click this task. Here's the link to it if you haven't done it already. This is just information if you were to do a paper one, but I don't really recommend that. I think it's a lot easier to go ahead and do the online application. And so if you have already done that, then just go ahead, check the box and push save. And then what you'll see is that you'll have this little green check to the right side, which means that that component is complete. So you're going to want to do that for everything. So this is just saying, yes, I have a master's degree, so push save. You do need to take the GRE. However, you don't have to wait until the GRE is done in order to check this off, because it says I have taken or will take the GRE prior to admission to the program. And actually, you need to have the official scores submitted before the deadline, and the deadline is February 1st. So I would say the very last possible day to register for your exam would be mid-January, because you need to give it some time to actually be submitted officially. But in terms of your application, all you need to do is be aware that that is a requirement. So you can just check this and push save. Just make sure you have registered to take the GRE at that time. Another thing you'll need to verify that you've done as part of the regular system application is make sure that you've submitted all your transcripts. So check on that. If you need the address, it's here. Now you are able to attach some unofficial transcripts here if you want to, but honestly, the priority will be to get your official transcripts in. So don't skip out on that component. You really want to make sure that you submit those as soon as possible, because that is the #1 reason for delayed admissions, is that the grad division is probably waiting for a transcript that you think either arrived or you didn't realize you needed to submit or things like that. And so I recommend doing your transcripts as soon as possible. And then once you have done that, just check and push save. So you will need to write a statement of objectives. This is going to kind of outline, well, why are you pursuing your PhD? What are your goals, professional goals? What are your research interests, especially within the field of exceptionalities, things like that. So you can prepare that ahead of time, do it in a Word document, and then here they give you directions on how to submit it. And they have a link that you can click on to upload it directly. And please keep in mind, we're looking for either a Word doc or a PDF, and to please use this convention when naming your file. So you're gonna wanna click on this, upload the document directly, so already have it prepared, and then once you're done, click on this box and submit it. Let's say I went in here and I don't have my statement of objectives ready. I can just go up here and click the little X, and it'll keep it open for me. And then for your resume or your curriculum vitae, same thing. The preferred method is that you go ahead and just upload it directly here using a Word doc or a PDF. And then once you've done that, you just say, yes, I've submitted it. Otherwise, if you don't want to upload it directly, here is the address you can send it to, or you can fax it as well. Your sample of scholarly writing. So you're going to want to upload something that demonstrates your ability to write in a professional scholarly kind of way. So they have some examples. Perhaps you've published an article, or maybe even if it's unpublished and you submitted a proposal or a manuscript, you can attach that. You can attach a sample of your thesis. You don't need to attach the entire thing. Or if you have like a writing assignment that you've done, or a professional research report. You know, if you're working in the school system, maybe you did WASC accreditation or something and you had to write up a report, then that would be an example of scholarly writing. And so again, it's a sample. If it's a really, really long document, you don't need to upload the entire thing. You can just upload a component. But you're gonna wanna use this link, or you can go ahead again and mail it in. So once you've done that, you would click on this box and push save. And then for your letters of recommendation, what you're going to do is you should have notified them ahead of time and asked, you know, if they are willing to write you a letter of recommendation. We do have a supplemental document that you can share with them that kind of explains what we're looking for in regards to what they can write to. But in terms of the application, what you're going to want to do is you just put their name, their email, their phone number, and then how you know them, like what the role is. And once you actually click save, it's going to automatically email them, notifying them that you have listed them as a reference. And what's nice about that is they will actually be given a link to upload your letter for you already. Now let's say they've already given you the letter and you have it on hand, it's signed, things like that, then what I recommend is next to that person's name, just uncheck the send box so that they're not sent that email, because you don't want to confuse them when they already gave you the letter. So you could do that. So let's say you have two on hand, but this middle person has not yet submitted it, then you can just keep the box checked next to their name and they will be emailed with an opportunity to upload it for you. Otherwise, I can also show you how you would upload it yourself if they've already given it to you a copy, or if they emailed it or something like that. Something new is that you can actually waive your right to view the LORs, the letters of recommendation. So you can say, I wouldn't like to waive my right, or I would, because otherwise anything that they upload in here, you are going to be able to see unless you say you're going to waive your right to do that. Otherwise, if they prefer that it stays confidential, then they can mail it in directly. So yeah, so make sure that you've contacted them prior to filling this out so that they know and they can expect to see that email that's going to be sent to them. Oops, sorry, I shouldn't have pushed save. But basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be working on making sure that all of these components have been submitted. And once they are all checked off, then this button will light up and it'll say next. If anything is not, checked off, you can't move any farther into the application. Now I can because this is a test, but basically just keep in mind that all of these things should be able to be at least checked off pretty early. And if you did want to upload something afterwards, or let's say you upload your Vita and then you decide later that you forgot something and you want to update it again, in this right hand corner next to where your name is going to be, there will be a drop down that says My Documents. And when you click on that My Documents, it's going to give you your upload link, and you can go ahead and upload letters of recommendation that you already have, or you can change out and update something that you already submitted prior. And what we will do on our end is we're just going to take the most recent version. So it'll still live there if you have an older version, but when it comes to creating your application packet, we're just going to use whatever is the most recent of each. So I'm going to go ahead and skip just to kind of show you what's going to happen afterwards, but you wouldn't be able to unless both of these were checked off. So keep going. You need to actually submit the application. This is just to confirm that all the information is correct. So you're looking at the PhD in education with the Exceptionalities track for the fall 2020 cohort. And you're going to need to check the box that you're aware of all the admissions, that you know what this program is, and that you have filled everything out correctly. And click submit. And so after that, you will be able to log in and check the application status. However, unfortunately, the graduate application and this application are not directly linked. Therefore, there's a good chance that you're going to come on here and you're going to be like, oh, how come they haven't received my application? There's no date here. How come there's none of this? All of this has to be manually done. And so the best bet is to actually contact us directly just to kind of verify what has been received and what hasn't. We will also try our best to kind of give updates on that as we go. But in terms of what you need to do from that point, there's nothing really left. Just make sure you definitely check on your transcripts with Grad Division to make sure they've been received. But that's it. And so once you've done this and once you've done the UH application, then it's basically a process of waiting to be reviewed, which will happen in around February or March. And usually admissions decisions will be sent out in around April. All right. Thank you. If you have any questions, please email me at spedinfo@hawaii.edu.